Hi, I'm Sharon Pope. I'm the love and relationship coach for women who want more. I want to talk to you today about the concept of the loveless marriage. If that's how you would describe your marriage, I want you to know you're not alone. There's a lot of women out there that are feeling the same way. Even though this concept of a loveless marriage sort of sounds like an oxymoron, it's way more common than we really talk about. And so one of the things that I have learned is what will set your situation apart is what you're willing to do about it. So I want to share with you the story of one of my clients. Now, obviously, I have changed all of her information to protect her confidentiality, but it will get the point across. So I'm going to call her Teresa. Teresa's been married to her husband for 30 years. She got married when she was young, when she felt invincible, and when she had her whole life planned out in front of her. She knew exactly what she wanted. And it involved marrying a good man and having a good home and raising some amazing kids that could grow up to be amazing adults. And she did that. She did all that. But during her marriage and while the boys were growing up, she was growing more and more disconnected from her husband. They rarely communicated about anything that wasn't the logistics of the kids or maybe what was happening at his work. She was able to distract herself with everything that it took to raise these boys and just ignore what was happening inside of her marriage. So the way that she described it to me was that, on the good days, they were decent co-parents. But on the bad days, they were like intolerable roommates who just didn't like each other much. So she ignored what was happening while the boys were growing up. She had no intention of blowing up her family while the boys were young. She kept herself numb and distracted. And there was also a little part of her that was holding out hope that maybe with time, things would magically get better. But distractions have a shelf life, don't they? And all the heartache and loneliness that she had kept stuffed down, it all came flooding right back into her experience as soon as the boys grew up, left home, and went out to build their lives on their own. It became so dominant in her experience that it was undeniable, to the point where she knew she had to address what had happened in her marriage. And she referred to it as the loveless marriage. Now, she wasn't entirely sure that she still loved her husband. And she knew she didn't really feel that love coming from him, but she didn't know where she stood. She just felt stuck and hopeless and afraid. And so that's when she reached out to me and asked for help, because she had been trying to figure this out for a long time. And she had done everything she knew how to do, and she prayed every prayer and hoped that things would get better, and it just never did. And so we've only been working together a short period of time, just a few weeks. But here's what I can tell you is happening so far, and it's really an honor for me to watch. I have seen Teresa not be as anxious about having to have the answer for her marriage. I've seen that anxiety level go down. I have seen her sort of rest in the, I don't know what the answer is right now, but I'm figuring it out. I'm working on it, and I'm going to figure it out. I've seen her become more confident that no matter what happens, that she's going to be okay. I have seen her even start to warm up to the idea of creating a life that fits who she is now. She'll always be a mother, but she's different now than she was, 25 years ago. And I've also seen her soften. I've seen her drop the resentments that she has carried for her husband on why he couldn't be the man that she needed him to be all those years. Instead, just seeing him as he is and seeing if she can love that man in a new way. The love in her loveless marriage may still be there. It may spawn regrowth, or it may not. But either way it goes, I know that what is next for her in terms of her marriage or most loving, intimate relationship will look and feel dramatically different than what she's experienced for the last 30 years. And you know how I know that? It's because she'll be different. And when you change, that changes everything. And so, whether she chooses to stay and reconnect with her husband and make that work, create a different kind of relationship with him, one that feels really good, or whether she decides to lovingly leave that relationship, my job as her coach is just to guide her back home to her heart so that she can hear and feel that answer for her life. I hope that this has been helpful for you, and I appreciate you connecting with me. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I post new videos every week.